Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start Unit 3 here. Unit 3 is the beginning of polynomials, and so we got a lot of definitions today. So you're going to be doing a lot of pausing during the video to write down the definitions. All right, a term, it's a number, a variable, or a product of a number and or variables. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction. So term can be simple, such as x. It could be a little bit more involved, like 2x to the third, or it could be even longer, like negative 4 x squared y to the third z to the negative 7th. That is one complete term because it's not being separated by addition or subtraction. It's only multiplication. So pause so you can write those down. All right, base. It's the number in the term that's being multiplied, or sometimes it's the variable in the term that's being multiplied. Okay. Exponent is the number in a power that tells you how many times to multiply the base. So here's a good example. My base is 2, my exponent is 3. So what this is telling me is that I need to multiply 2 3 times. So pause, pause, pause. All right, the coefficient, it's the numeric factor in a term that has a variable. So we've talked about coefficient before. So if I give you this 3x, the coefficient is 3. If I say negative 4, a to the third, b to the fourth, my coefficient is still my large number in the front. Okay, degree of the term is the exponent on the variable of the term. So if we look in the example above, we have a 1 for that power. And in the other example, we actually have 2 exponents, the 3 and the 4. And so you're going to go with the highest exponent, so a 4th degree. All right, then we have like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variable and they're raised to the same power. All constants are like terms. So a constant is a term that's just a number. So constants have no variable parts. So 3, negative 27, those are constants. Now, if we talk above like terms, we have, if we had something like 3x squared plus 7x to the fourth, plus 2x squared. My like terms are the ones that have the same variable to the same power. All right, don't forget to be pausing and writing these down. All right, a polynomial is a set of terms separated by pluses and minuses. So polynomial, we're going to be working a lot with polynomials in this chapter because that's the title of it. So a polynomial can be simple like 2x plus 1. It has 2 terms, 2x and 1. Okay, we could have long polynomials, so negative 3x to the second, y to the fourth, minus 7x to the third, y plus 7x to the seventh, y to the negative second, plus 12. Okay, polynomials, they have many terms, and they're separated by pluses and minuses. All right, the degree of the polynomial is the largest exponent in all of the terms. All right, so then standard form for the polynomial, it's when all like terms are combined, and the terms are written in decreasing order, and the largest exponent is first. So we're going to actually practice this here with in our problems on the back side of this note, okay? Or of these notes sheets, I should say. So pause to write those down. And then the last definition we have is leading coefficient. This is the coefficient of the very first term, but the kicker is it has to be when the polynomial is in standard form. Okay, again, we're going to see this here when we do our next problems. So, I can't say it enough. I hope you guys were pausing and writing down those definitions. So if we're walking around and talking about it, I or Mr. Hatch will be seeing those definitions written on your note sheets. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this first example here. We are given this polynomial. It's not in standard form, so we need to put it in standard form. We're going to start with the highest exponent first, those are our biggest terms. So if I look, my largest exponents are cubes, so that third power. And I'm really big into like circling on my terms and crossing them out so I know I don't miss any of them. All right, so I have a positive 4x and a positive 3x. So you're going to add the coefficients. So 4 plus 3 gives me 7, but the exponents stay the same. Think about those kind of as like a label right now. When you add things, you don't change the labels. Same ideas with exponents. When we add or subtract them, we don't change the labels. All right, now we go for our next highest point, exponent, and so I see it squared. Now you'll notice I'm circling the signs that are in front of those terms. Those are what's going to go with it. So I have an 8x squared and a negative 5x squared. So I'm thinking 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 leaves me with 3. And then I just have my x squared. Again, I don't do anything to the exponents. All right, I'm now looking at just plain x's, and I have a negative 3x and a positive 5x. So that gives me a 2. Negative 3 plus 5 gives me 2x. And we're at our last terms, our constants, the ones without variables. So 8 minus 12, and we end up with negative 4. So now our equation is in, or our polynomial is in standard form. Highest exponent terms first, all the way down to the constant. Sometimes we don't have constants, but in this case we do. All right, how many terms are there? So when I do this, I'm looking at it, how is it broken up between the pluses and minuses? So I count 4 terms here. Okay. What's the degree of the 4th term? So the 4th term is my constant. So there's no variable there. If there was a variable, it would have a 0 power. So my 4th term's degree is 0. That's the only way my variable goes away. All right, list all the coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers in front of the variables. So 7, 3, and 2. Negative 4 is not a coefficient because the variable is gone on that one. So negative 4 is going to be my constant. All right, so go ahead, and here is our next problem. I want you guys to pause the video here, and I want you to try and answer these ones on your own, okay? Pause the video here and try answering them on your own. All right, take a look here and see how you did. We end up combining it down to 4 terms. The 4th term is that constant, so it has a 0 degree because there's no variable there. That's like saying x to the 0 power. List all the coefficients. Now remember, the sign in front of it goes with that coefficient. So that's a negative 3. And then my constant is my negative 18. All right, let's see here. Our next problem, it says to write it in standard form, find the degree of the polynomial and the leading coefficient. So let's go ahead and write it in standard form. Here my highest exponent I see is a 5x squared to the 5th. Sorry about that. Okay, there's no 4th power, so then I go to the 3rd power. So 3 minus 2 leaves me with a positive 1x to the 3rd. Now you don't have to write the 1 in front of it. You certainly can. It's not going to hurt either way. There is no squared power, so now I'm going to move on to my x's. So negative 2x and negative 4x. I have negative 6x. And then I'm left with my constants of 4 and 5. So that gives me 9. So what's the degree of the polynomial? Remember, the degree of the polynomial is your highest power. So in this one, it's 5. Now it's this 5 here that is the degree. The leading coefficient is my number in front, and so it's that 5. All right, one more here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to pause the video here and then jump back on here, and then we'll check our answers, and then we'll be done. Check yours there quick before you answer the other questions. Then Our degree of the polynomial is our highest exponent, so 5. And then the last one is the leading coefficient, and that's the number in front of the first term, -2. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. See you later.